Serendipity would be a good word to describe how I feel about the coming together of this group. I first met Glauco in 1998 when I was asked to take part in a recording project. Wondering as he goes, wondering what he knows of life. And a couple of years later, I was contacted by an agent to see if I'd like to do a concert with Glauco and Klaus. His demons laugh, still slowly. Apparently, Glauco and Klaus met in Vienne in the south of France in around 1996. I think Glauco was on a jury and Klaus was taking part in a competition and won the soloist prize. Anyway, they contacted me and asked whether I would do a concert with them near Udine. The two of them uncannily seemed to know what the other was going to play already when I joined them. Rhythmically, there's no certainty about where all the beats are. When we're playing in time, sometimes we'll stretch a bar, almost as they do in classical music. After a few concerts spread over a couple of years, we decided that we would record and see how we really sounded in a studio setting. Bright Orion, down through the trees in the beam of his eye, he sees her shrouded in moonlight. So they arrived at my house with their compositions and we pooled our ideas about what suited us. And I chose pieces which I thought would make good songs, then proceeded to write lyrics. All are still. The obvious choice of a recording studio was Stefano Amerio's Art Suono studio. I had loved the sound that he got on my voice on the first recording I ever did there.
Okay.
At this point, I hadn't had much contact with ECM for some time. But as luck would have it, word got back to me that Manfred had actually heard some of our recording and expressed an interest. So eventually, when we had had a little more experience of working together, I decided to see if he'd be interested in recording us. And to my delight, he was extremely interested. He had some time before this begun to use the very studio where I'd first met Glauco and subsequently recorded with the trio, the Art Suono studio. So we recorded Distances. Turning in heights of invisible air. We were thrilled to find that the CD had a great reception in the press, and it won the Vocal Jazz Prize from the Academie Du Jazz in Paris and was even nominated for a Grammy. Fly high from their spire. Lullabies, lullabies, nothing to fear now. Close your eyes, close your eyes. It's a good experience to be working with Manfred Eicher. His input to the recordings makes a real difference. Sing a song on my own, times without. His treatment and placement of the sound of each instrument are vital for the overall sound of the group, as well as his suggestions for how to get across the essence of each composition. He's a real producer, and I don't think there are many in jazz who can genuinely claim that title. Just sometimes. We've now recorded our second CD for ECM, and the selection process for the material was more or less the same as before. You're always somewhere near, but I can't reach you. There was a folk song which Glauco brought us with words in Friulano. It's a pity we didn't get around to that one. I wanted to try out my pronunciation skills again with this language. Maybe next time. We're experimenting more these days with a way of playing more rhythmically complex pieces and trying to make them sound uncluttered and spacey without losing the form of the piece. And hear your laughter in every changing season. It's not always as easy as it sounds, but I am enjoying it. It's a wonderfully democratic group. I just love it because
the music that we make is a kind of magic music.
So it's a big melting pot.
We have a lot of things in common to say and to not say.
I hope that the rest of the people that are going to listen to this record thinks the same.
And they do it. But now that the